can keep it. No. I've got it, Mom. I mean, I'm looking at because you're talking about squares of your life, you're talking about, you're talking about the commercial street light.
We'll get started, and we'll lead off with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all for coming out tonight. Looks like we've got several members out. We've got four?
We've got 4 members.
Okay. Do we need to do a roll call? We good? Okay.
We have a form before.
Okay. Okay. Do we have any changes or additions to the agenda?
Yeah, we do have one change where it says item 4, Legacy Farms 4-star. It says request extension. It's actually going to be a decrease. Public Works has agreed to that. We discussed it today. So it'll be a decrease.
Okay. And I noticed that items 5 through 10 are maintenance bonds. Curious, do we want to possibly move those up to?
Yeah, you can move them to consent.
I agree.
Yeah.
Should we do a motion for that?
Yes. I'll motion move items 5 through 8 up to the consent agenda. I'll second.
All right. All in favor? Aye. Thanks. Anyone against? Okay. And do we have a motion for approving of those minutes? Or approving this agenda?
I'll motion to approve.
Second.
Oh.
All right. All those any against? No? All right. How about let's prior meeting minutes approval for September 9th. Any questions or comments on that? Motion to approve. All right. Anyone against? All right. Then we've got a open up for public comment. We have one item, Mr. Brown with LGI Homes.
I guess maybe.
You want to wait till we get to this item? You want to wait till we?
Yeah, about later. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Anybody else want to speak before we move on? Okay. All right. So we get into the consent agenda items. So now 1 through 10. Do we want to talk through those?
No. I will say just we've been working through our processes with the bond, and I would like just to commend Public Services. It's just a lot with everything that they've been undertaking for the last several months, but this is just one piece of the process that we have to nail down, and I feel like as a group we've come together and collaborated. So and Isaiah won't put his stamp on anything until he's 100% sure on it. So just wanted to make that comment.
Any other questions or comments? Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve. I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Okay. So that will put us down to item number 11, which is the Raymond Hurst Parkway Commercial HUD. Request final approval for shared infrastructure and Lot 6 overall development. Property is referenced as Robertson County Property Tax Map 1070I.
Yeah, kick us off. I tried to put everything I could in your notes just to help explain what was previously approved. The preliminary master development plan came in 2023. This project had came to us several times before. Originally, I think as 100+ townhomes or you know, housing development unit. That was denied. Then it came back again, and finally, it got down to 30 units in the back. You notice there is no connection to the public. There's a stream in the middle, a buffer stream in the middle of the property, which really prohibited some, you know, connection. We did have that conversation previously. This plan, like I said, we kind of hashed it out through several iterations, and this is what we come up with. I know we've discussed the road connections. TDOT still will have to sign off on the roads, but preliminarily, this was satisfactory based on the traffic studies and our engineering review. Jason did say he'd be available by phone if we had a question. But, so we, like I said, hashed this out. We didn't see any changes from the preliminary to the final master. You know, you guys have made some comments about the potential developments of projects that'll go in here. Each item will have to come back. Now the houses, they'll be approved in this. They won't have any changes, but the commercial, if there was to be emergency room approved here, it would come back separately. The McDonald's, the Casey's, which Casey's will come before you next month. They submitted a site plan, so that site plan will have to match this preliminary plan. And I will also add that construction plan review still has to take place. The developer is developing the entire site, so that'll make it, you know, conducive, you know, for the individual sites to come.
So just to clarify, if TDOT has any concerns or questions about turn lanes or traffic flow, this might have to be amended again? Or,
yes.
okay.
Yeah. It will have to be amended. Any amendments will have to come back through. And TDOT has been really good about, you know, reaching out to us with any concerns that they have. I feel like we got a really good partnership with them. So any concerns that they have, they'll let us know. They'll say, hey, what are you guys doing up there? Or they'll agree with it, but it will be a big discussion.
Okay, I have a question regarding the stream. Is that an actual stream, or is it a dry creek bed, or is it part of the wastewater system?
I think it's a dry creek bed. I think Annika or any that I know usually Josh speaks on this project.
Yeah, I have Keith McCormick on the engineering
Okay.
on the site, so I can take that stream question.
Okay.
We've gone through some preliminary analysis. They actually, I think, have sent the ARAP off to TDEC for their review. That's a real stream with 60-foot total buffers and 30 feet on each side. And it'll have to be surveyed for present salamanders as well. That'll all be part of like the individual permits throughout the process.
So is there a bridge going across the creek?
A culvert crossing.
A culvert, okay. So there's no plans for that in any of this?
That'll be during the
So that'll
construction
be during
plan.
the construction plan?
Yes.
Okay. I wondered about that. Oh my God,
Yeah. Like I said, I know this is challenging for something that was approved if you weren't like on the board. That's why I tried to provide as many notes as I could. Didn't want you to feel like you're just getting a blank check this way.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I guess, just to confirm too, so based on the elevation, that stream would run into the Honey Run Creek.
I'm not 100% sure if that's Honey Run.
Under Raymond Hirsch Parkway, this
Right.
moves on. Yeah.
Okay.
So what we're being asked to approve or not are the houses.
No, the final master plan, you approved the preliminary.
Right.
So the final has to match the preliminary.
Okay.
So you're being asked to approve the preliminary. The preliminary sets the zoning, so the zoning's already set. So if there are no changes from preliminary to final, then you
But we had not approved the houses.
This would set
Is
that.
it?
Yes,
Okay.
you did.
Okay.
We did.
All right.
So it was still 43 single-family lots and 2 open space lots?
Yes.
And what were the open space lots allocated for in the future?
Open space, so if you look at the plan, it'll detail it, the emergency room, the Casey's, the 2 commercial. They hadn't had any, They specified at one time it would be a Goodwill, but it'll be a retailer. The retailer will still have the same footprint.
So the current change that they're looking to make is to the buffer of trees?
No changes. This is
Says the buffer will allow for the current owners.
those,
That's
Oh, that's this one.
yeah.
Wait,
Would be-
You scared?
oh, this one, oh, it's not the landscape. Okay.
So in regards to the buffer, the landscape buffer, this is a very wooded lot, a natural habitat for a lot of different things. Is there plans to keep any of the existing large trees, particularly along the buffer line?
No, there's not.
No.
And that was, I think, my concern is it's
Yeah.
showing a lot of greenery, and I'm concerned about where is that all going? There'll be nothing left, there'll be no
There'll be
buffer.
I know you have to, you will have the buffer, what is it, a B4 designation, but there's already trees and things there, so why cut them down?
Because of our extensive grading, we can't save any of those trees. The grading we would have to be cutting all that back in order to grade the site properly.
So are you replanting anything?
We're planting the, required buffer in that area.
So the buffer that's shown in the diagram that I'm looking at, that we're all looking at, you're planting all of those trees around the border?
Yes.
So you're gonna rip all the trees down and replant them?
There's no way to salvage any of it. You get allowance for existing landscape that's present. So there's already canopy trees, understory, all that's already there. And you just have to rip it all out to grade.
Do we have a stipulation in here to ensure that that is going back in this border of all these trees?
Yeah, the landscaping plan, the stamp, it's a landscape architect stamps plan.
Do I have
So,
that?
We don't have it, well, we have it in the plans, it's in the plans.
Oh, so I have it here?
Yes,
So what is the width of the buffer?
25. No, I think the G,
Landscape.
B4. To the B4?
Yeah. Landscape requirements.
Not like
Yeah,
the
parking parameters.
sheet I want to know, because this is a lot narrower than even that for frontage.
So no fire trees.
I can get the magnifier on my phone. It's B4, I'm pretty sure. But you're talking about the.
That's 20 feet?
Yeah, I don't think 10 feet is fine.
Transitional. Yeah.
The problem,
Yeah, that's the, I can see that. Yeah, that's the transitional buffer yard. I know it wasn't 50 feet.
okay, so here's my concern about, the reason I ask about the width of the buffer zone is the canopy of a mature canopy tree can be anywhere from 60 to 100 feet wide. So if you're only allowing 10 feet for the planting of that tree, where's the rest of the tree going as it matures?
I think they're replacing, there's not gonna be any more canopy trees.
It's required, is it not?
Says it.
No, not 100 foot, no,
It's
no,
a
no.
upper
I mean,
story canopy trees, like live oaks are one of the trees on the list. And a live oak tree can have anywhere from 40 to 100 foot. depending
How
on-
big are those specified that'll be planted?
I didn't bring that with
The
me.
canopy, understory trees, shrubs.
Yeah, but they're little trees.
Yeah.
It's in the plans there, where it says over on the right side, I guess.
Yeah.
I'd have to have magnifying glasses to see it.
Yeah, under the landscape.
The minimum is, I think it's 6 feet tall, wall or fence place at the inner edge of.
You're gonna replace those great big trees with a number of little bitty trees that someday will be great big trees.
It does say before.
discrepancy. On the D, it says D on the, eastern edge, but it says B.
For the legend, it's stating B for the traditional, okay, so the northern buffer is going to be B4, and then
So I think
the
they were
eastern
thickening
buffer
up the
is
buffer
B4.
on the, on Miss Wells' side. I asked them to provide a thicker buffer.
So that's the piece.
On the other side, yeah. So that is a thicker buffer, that D buffer, so that's why that's showing, as a D. And again, this was, like I said, what we kind of hashed out on the initial plan, so.
I wasn't there.
I know, totally understand. Yeah.
And for clarification on this as well, this will not be connected to the public.
No,
Okay.
there is a sidewalk connection to the greenway, but
Okay,
not
yeah,
the
that's
Right,
okay.
which is difficult.
Which gives them, that will give them the public, we had them put in a sidewalk that connects the greenway, so you just have to go out a little bit and then back into public.
And page L100 is the landscaping plan.
What about lighting?
What's that?
Lighting by the greenway entrance, do you have something?
Yeah, there's lighting by the greenway entrance too, correct?
I don't see that.
So the lighting plan is, and it's E1, 101.
So it's right here, so it starts at this, so this sidewalk, so it doesn't go down.
Needs to be there. Back up to the greenway. So just to be clear, it looks like you have an access to the greenway, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And do you have any lighted or illuminated areas in that direct location? I'm sorry, I'm looking at it, but I don't really see that, so I just want to make sure I understand.
In the location where our greenway would connect to, or our area would connect to the
Sidewalk.
greenway there. I don't believe we have any pedestrian lighting there as part of the photometric plan, but we could certainly add it.
Yeah, I think just for your, I mean, you're building a very dark corner there. I don't necessarily think that's probably the wisest choice for people to walk in the dark under.
So we can put that as a stipulation.
I would like that, please.
We can add that.
It can only go up to the greenway, because our greenway is not lit up at night,
Yeah,
nobody's
it's
supposed to be on there at night.
Well,
but-
I just think, you know,
But I agree with you about the sidewalk going to it, could have some lights.
yeah, we should have some lights on the sidewalk. Just, it doesn't have to continue on, obviously that's the greenway, but just to it, I think, you know, it's important.
We can add that as a stipulation.
Okay,
And that'll be reflected in the minutes.
okay. I think as far as lighting goes, that's the only spot, right?
Well, is there any lighting in the playground area?
No, I don't believe we have any pedestrian level lighting, in that area. I think it's all street and parking.
So your dog park doesn't have an evening light? Do you have hours on your dog park?
I don't believe so. I believe it would be open at all times.
So I think we would need a light over the dog park and a light over the playground.
Yeah, so certainly we can add pedestrian level lighting to all the amenities part of that area.
Well, I don't want to blanket it. I want to make sure that we state, we're adding a light to the dog park, we're adding a light to the playground, we're adding a light to the walkway for pedestrians to the greenway, because this is not a blanket statement. These are itemized things that we're requesting.
Right.
I would say that if you are requesting it, we can, it will reflect it in the
Yeah.
minutes. So,
Yes, okay.
Okay? Do we have anywhere else, guys? I think that was it.
For this commercial,
So I have a question
Mhm.
that you might be able to clarify, because I don't know for certain. So the buffer zone between the residential and the commercial, because this is a combined, is this the first one we've done with this?
yes, this is a commercial PUD,
The only barrier are a few trees, and from what I've read, I felt like there should be a bigger barrier between the commercial and the residential. Am I missing?
well, this is, yeah, because it's not like, it's not a PUD separating a PUD, it's all encompassing
Right.
of that,
The multi-use.
yeah, so
Right.
it's not like it's buffering a separate use.
Yeah, we've had, there's only a couple of houses there between,
Yeah.
and we've tried to accommodate the best we can with one of the homes there with an elderly lady. Our daughters have been in when we were gonna do when they were requesting the 120 townhouses, but they were totally against that. They preferred that, they're in the statement, they preferred that commercial here.
No, I was talking about.
She's talking about in the back with the 30
Oh,
houses
those
in the
houses back there, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're
Yeah.
facing the commercial area, and
Yeah.
especially if the emergency ring goes in like it's talking about, you've just got 4 trees blocking that whole little neighborhood right there. That's not much of a buffer for an
Yeah.
emergency ring.
And I think,
no buffer.
yeah, like I said, I think because this is all, it's not really a transition buffer, but what you're saying makes plenty of sense. But it wasn't a transition, so that's why I think that, they got it landscaped as they do.
So all this landscaping and buffer and tree sizes and all of it, is within city codes?
Yes, it is.
Is there anything you could do to provide buffering along the backside of some of the homes?
Backside,
The facing between facing along the parkway right there?
facing that street.
Kind of like street trees, additional street trees right in the backside here.
Yeah, we could increase the
Okay.
offset on the street, so there's more in that street code, that's kind of what you're getting at?
Yes.
Okay.
Especially if it's an emergency room with bigger lights and all that, that's a concern.
Was it just in that one location you just?
I mean, there
Where?
and then in the bend there,
In
just
the
all
bend.
along where
Yeah.
where they are, exposed to the commercial. I think that's what you were asking.
Yeah, because it just seems like everything I've looked at, that there's a bigger buffer between a commercial and a
Yeah, it
residential.
typically
There
would
should
be like if it's R20 and C2, it would be
Right.
a bigger buffer.
And I understand this is a new
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly, you're hitting on, that's right.
It's a new thing, so,
Yeah.
there you go.
So,
More trees the better.
yeah.
Okay, and I have, just 2 more things regarding planting, sorry. But I know the plan looks like you're building a wooden fence across the street, Raymond Hurst, there's that little triangle shaped piece of land, right?
Yes,
It's,
but on the Dollar General side.
right.
Yeah.
And the plan is to put a fence up there, is that correct? Did I read that correctly?
Mhm. Yeah, I think we-
Okay, and then is that also being landscaped with buffer trees, or is it just the fence that's going up?
It should also have landscape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because on this one, it's like, this one, it doesn't.
Yeah, this was just the buffer, I asked about this,
Okay.
yeah, one of the comments where you see the hatch.
Right, because this one looks like
yeah.
just a fence and this one's landscape.
Yeah,
I wasn't
he
sure.
noted a comment that
Okay.
it is gonna have buffer.
Okay, just to clarify that.
Yeah.
Okay. And then my last question about trees. Along the edge of Raymond Hurst Parkway, one of the guidelines from zoning, of course, is to reduce the amount of glare from headlights and that are coming down that major road, and also street lights and parking lights that are going to affect the road and all that stuff. There's no buffer, there's just like a few trees, and there's very few trees, and what you have is a parking lot on that edge. Is there any way to make that another buffer? Instead of just, you've got 3 trees in the middle of like a strip of parking. Yeah. I'm talking about this part right here.
Yeah.
For which lot?
She's got it up there on the screen. if you want.
Like 7, I wish I made this bigger, looks like it's
Yeah.
like 7.
No, I think it's actually, I'm talking about lot 8.
Commercial?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
that parking lot, with the curve that goes around Raymond Hurst. That's not a very good depiction of that.
To be clear, they're all gonna have to come into individual lots with their.
Yeah, this is,
Plans as well, so they're going to.
Yeah, that's a
Oh,
comment.
you're right, okay,
Additional
comment.
plans and such.
okay.
And that's something we can address when we get to those lots.
Yeah, Josh and I kind of talked offline about buffer, and I told him that they were prepared that buffer would be a question.
Okay.
So it wasn't, yeah, I don't like for them to be blindsided, so they knew that buffer would be a biggie.
And so just clear, what he just said, so the commercial lots have to meet the same specifications that you all have set up.
Yes, the
Yeah.
commercial lots will meet everything that we had in the PMDP
Okay.
for buffers.
Well, except there's not currently buffer. It's just a little bit tricky. I think it's fine. So I'm gonna go-
Do you have any other questions? Jennifer, you look like you have a question.
I'm just trying to understand
I
why
think
that's
that's-
a concern of his.
I'm sorry, one more question. I apologize. The width between the houses is 5 feet. Is that,
Yeah, in this
because
flood.
one of the things I looked at said 6.5, unless the fire code said 5 feet was plenty. Is
Fire
that,
code.
fire code is good with 5 feet in this situation?
Yeah,
Okay.
and I'll get with Jimmy Johnson just to be sure. Because it's not, it's 5.5.
Yeah. I never had thought about it.
We'll, he signed off on it, so, but we'll triple check.
Okay.
You can write that as a stipulation. So put in there stipulations, triple check with, fire inspector on the fire code. I mean, we checked it, but we just wanna assure that the house, the side setbacks are sufficient for fire code.
You'd like us to triple check with,
No,
okay.
we'll just put that in as a note that
As a note,
there
yeah.
may be a, addendum to the side setback.
For the, okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Do we have a motion
Motion to approve
with the stipulation?
with the stipulation.
I got one.
I think the reason that just to validate why I motioned that is because I was at the previous meeting when we had talked about this. And you guys have worked a lot with us on modifications for, entrances, exits. We were deeply concerned about the traffic and how it would impact the local community as it exists right now. And the fact that you're willing to make these accommodations and concessions the way that we're asking, to put in the extra lighting and be preventative and proactive, it reassures me in the future when you come back that we'll have that same relationship.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So I've only got one motion to approve. Do we,
Does anybody else have any questions or concerns? I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but initially, the fact that the big, woodsy trees, they're gone. They're gonna be gone and,
I mean, but she's
replaced
saying
by
we can't,
little trees that will be big trees someday.
I think she's saying we can't grade the land the way that it is right.
No,
So, I mean,
I just want to make sure everybody's aware of that and it doesn't come
I'm
up as,
not happy
we
about
didn't
it.
talk about that enough, so.
No?
I think my concern is considering, and I know our stormwater team has done a tremendous job over the last few months over all the flooding, is
Okay.
when we lose all those trees, that is a lot of water runoff that's not being soaked up by those trees.
It's a lot of noise
That's-
and air pollution
yeah.
stuff too.
Well, I mean, I guess I could say that I got faith in our guys, and, the MS4 permitting, is designed to address all of that. Right, great, I mean, that's a good question, but, I mean, the reality is though, I mean, it is removing the topsoil, but our MS4 permitting and our teams are designed to capture, the detention ponds and all of the construction.
And I agree, I mean, I know this is really difficult to look at, but I feel like, you know, you've got an existing stream bed there, the trees along it should stay there. If,
If I can interject, to say that you can't disturb those trees.
Yeah, you gotta stay
After
there.
the tree has been,
so the ones along the stream for 30 feet are good to go.
Yes.
Did not know that, thank
Yes, everything within the stream buffer will not be touched.
So we would,
60-foot buffer total.
This is a weird question, I know, but on one of the schematics, there was a sediment basin on the corner of Raymond Hirsch and 31W, and then on another schematic, it's not there. And I didn't know if that was part of, it's on C310.
I can speak to that. That's part of the erosion sediment control plan.
Yes.
Where they use temporary sediment basins to control runoff that will.
Just during the construction phase?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And in the permanent condition, that water will be rerouted.
Okay, thank you.
so let me make sure I understood what you just said about the trees on that stormwater. So, according to your plan here, there's gonna be trees still there along that stormwater,
Along this stream.
along the
corridor.
stream, yeah, within 30 feet.
It's a 70-foot
70
total
foot, okay.
stream buffer.
Okay.
If you notice on the grading plan, there's not grading within that buffer.
Okay, that helps.
And I'll just note that when we approve the preliminary plan, it's set, the
It's
zoning
in there,
is set, so, just note that.
Okay.
So I second the motion that was made earlier.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you. So, item number 12, Springbrook Reserve. Request FMDP minor addendum regarding phases 3 and 4 consisting of 43 single-family lots, 2 open space lots, and dedication of public right-of-way.
The developer, reached out, there's only so many things I can do at the staff level. This would seem like it would be something I could approve, but the rules in the zoning ordinance say the planning commission has to approve it. Once they went out and surveyed the open space, it showed that the open space was encroaching upon the existing neighbor's yard, as my notes say. Because this development had been delayed, it was, first about in the 90s in 2006. So the neighbors have been using that space, and so the developers, worked with the neighbors. You can see the emails that ain't closed in your packet, but they're gonna plant some evergreen trees in the back and allow the neighbors to utilize that space. And so what they're asking is that they can change that landscaping plan to go 10 feet in and allow the neighbors to utilize that space. And they also mentioned the potential for neighbors purchasing those lots in the future. I don't think we've had a PUD, but if they would have to get the lot replatted, if they purchase that lot, that would also change the plan, so they would have to get that redrawn as well. But that's just kind of, I guess it's in the future, if that would happen. But I walked it, and I think they were doing the right thing by the neighbors.
Yeah.
Any questions? You had one earlier on this one. Oh, yes, we do have.
He's with the developer.
Yeah, I'm Dan Brown with LGI Homes, I'm the VP of Land Development, and I was just here to answer any questions regarding this. I've been the one working with the neighbors there throughout our project.
Okay.
Keep them happy and, let them know that we're gonna, not take their backyards, because you can see their current property lines are right at the back of their homes, and they've enjoyed this space for many years, and, we moved in and kind of appear to be taking it away, but,
But you've pretty much got all that agreed with them by these emails. It looks like
yes,
they're ready to go
yeah,
on.
yeah, in the future, we can do a lot line adjustment, at zero cost, something I think we have enough room, under engineering, enough calculated acreage that we could give a little bit of land up to each of those homeowners, we might pursue that.
Do you have any questions?
Motion to approve.
Okay. Do we have a motion?
Second.
All those in favor? Any opposed? With that, we are adjourned.